This is the Brandon D. Campbell podcast, where business and mindfulness meet to build a better leader in you. Here's your host, entrepreneur, mentor, and author, Brandon D. Campbell.
What life are you grooming your children for? That's a question that as a parent, as a father, I grapple with sometimes because I understand that as a parent, how I show up, how I lead, how I work, how I communicate directly to my daughters, the environment that I create, more than likely is going to be the life or the environment or the style that they're going to be attracted to. It's the type of lifestyle that will determine oftentimes who they choose as friends. And for me, I grew up in a chaotic, unstructured environment. And so I asked this question because I think as parents, we want our kids to be a better extension of us. And just don't believe that any parent sits around and says, I want my children to be an alcoholic. I want my kids to practice maladaptive behaviors. I want my kids to have a lack of empathy or emotional intelligence. I don't believe a parent does that. But we have to be very careful with how we show up, how we communicate, how we deal in situations, because little that we know, they're watching us. See, times have changed. See, when we grew up, we were taught that a child is to be seen, not heard. So you, as a child, you were ostracized. Your voice didn't matter. You were unseen in so many ways. But as a parent, I don't think our children accepts that. I don't think they accept that like the way that we used to accept it. They have questions. They're curious. They're observant. But I have to be careful about how I communicate my wants, how I instruct them and guide them, because I could be repeating a similar pattern. And so I always want to be very mindful of that it's not about necessarily what I want or this idea of peace, but what I really want is for them to have a better life than I've had. And that's what this is about. And so that's the question. What are you grooming your kids for and toward? What are you grooming them for? To be later on in life. And so that's all I have. I'm excited. A lot of great things is happening. With the book, I have an event coming up at Pearl's Books in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the home of the University of Arkansas. And I'm excited that I get to share my social and emotional literacy experience with the great folks of Northwest Arkansas. So that's all I have. Until next time,